So, in our introduction, we say that you combine your love for UX and sorry, my son was already there. Okay, and psychology, and you decided to focus your career on tech companies. But would you tell us more about what was your journey into product design?
Yeah, sure. So usually, is that okay if I share my screen for 5 minutes? Because usually I kind of have prepare something. Okay, nice.
Do you have the ability to share?
Oh yeah, nope.
No?
Seems that I'm not, but that's okay. Let's see why not.
Can someone help her? Sarah Sus?
Should be able to now.
Yep. Let me try again then. Yep. Cool. So are you able to see now my screen?
Yes, we can.
I'm not going to introduce myself because kind of you already did. So I'm just going to explain my journey. So enjoy the ride. Nice. Oh, someone is... Should I start? Okay. So yeah, sure. I mean, when I say enjoy the ride, it's double meaning because which includes that I enjoy every step on the way. So yeah, originally I'm from Brazil. I study international business in São Paulo, and I worked for 2 years in distribution of web and digital content. So yeah, I've always been involved with digital content since my early years. But then I moved to Spain 14 years ago, I think, and I started to explore more my creative side. I started working on several design projects, creating contents and books, which definitely, sparked one of my passions, which is design and creation. And then I was doing okay, but then I came to the UK in 2009, and it was my first time in the UK. So and then I was like, what should I do next? Should I keep working the same I was doing in Spain, or should I keep studying? I have no idea. So I decided, to explore a few options. And I decided to apply for a design and innovation program in Milton Keynes. And then a 1 year of front-end foundation course, or web designer, as we used to say in those days. Oh. And yeah, have some up and downs during the way. But then I decided I have to go back to Spain again, and I started work on this company, Eat Shirt. And initially I was responsible for the CMS and with their e-commerce, and then sometimes being as a visual designer, other times acting as a UX researcher and developer. So I was, with the famous multiple hats. And then at Dress Pen, it was a fashion and e-commerce wholesale retailer. Yeah, I think that's the same. And then there was, when I started working as a UX designer, and many things came together, and I truly discovered my passion, which is this kind of combination of research, content, design, and yeah, it was during this process that I realized I was really getting into UX. And then into this date, I decided to move to financial services because I love the idea, of being part of the revolution in customer experience and for financial service. So I worked at Santander Bank for almost 4 years as part of a startup within the bank. And we kind of our aim was to transform the world of payments. And that was really helpful because there I helped to design new process and integrate payment technologies and operations in the UK and in Spain. Great. And then in 2000 next year, I found this position. I've been here since Azigo since October. Quite committed to do as much as I can to make the most of this phase and to deliver value in the company. Yeah, and also for personal growth. This is how I get into UX.
Wow, it's a very nice nice chart that you have there. But so let me understand properly. So you are basically everything, because you said you are UX, UI. Then I suppose you said you were also a developer, or
Yeah, I started. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Surprise! You didn't know that, right?
I didn't know. Oh, nice. So I think that one of the questions that we had from attendees was actually whether you can switch from one career to another. So someone was asking whether how you see the moving from being a product owner to a product designer, or from developer to product designer. So do you think, was it easy for you? I mean, do you think that it's something definitely achievable?
Yeah, I see. Like one thing that was really, really helpful for me to know kind of being, I mean, I just worked for 2 years with development things like that, but I kind of understand the framework. So I think that helped me a lot, the mental model and things like that. So, I mean, because designers, they don't need, they don't have to know how to code. Definitely not.
Okay.
Actually, most designers, they don't know how to code. But now, if you have how, or if you have some knowledge, it's a plus, because it's important to understand the most common frameworks and how product development process have evolved as a result. So knowing a bit of coding doesn't mean a designer has to become expert coder, but simply understand a developer perspective. It helps. It can be a very competitive advantage, but it's far from to be a requirement. But it's always good. I think that helped me a lot in during my transition and things like that, to understand all the mental models and things like that. Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice. Thank you. But now, tell us more about what your role involves, and what are your responsibility, because I think there is a lot of confusion in this field.
Okay, yeah, it depends. You asking me, can I say my day-to-day activities so
Yes,
you can have an idea? Okay.
Really nice.
Yeah, so yeah, now I'm gonna say how is my, because it also depends, it changes depending of, on what part of the design process I'm executing. But I will say that my typical day, my work day right now, Zigo, is, starting me getting into the office around, I mean, if someone is not looking at the video, I'm signaling that my office is my home office here, but yeah. But I start around 8:30, and I kind of like to start before things get busy. So I start by checking my emails, the same as other people, scanning through things that I need to respond, like message, respond to anything that it needs immediate response. Then around 9:30, when all the stand-ups start. So the first one is with the mobile app team. That's the one that I share with Anna. Again, Anna. This is our second meeting today. And then right after that, I have the design research team stand up, round table, and then last but not least, I have the daily stand up with the B2C team. But yeah, I mean, this is how we start every day, and all of that usually takes about 1 hour at the least. And then I take up one coffee to start with. But in terms of responsibilities, it depends where I am in the sprint, because I would say usually I'll always, structure my day or find the time to do sketch prototypes. I look and define some usability testing. I may work on different interactions, high fidelity designs, or quality checks with the engineers. It all depends. But if I'm in the project, in the early stage, I also might be engaged in some user research. This might consist of me meeting some of our customers and stakeholders to learn about how they use their product and what the challenge they're facing. So, then I can go back and fix the idea. Like I'm here to fix the problems. But if is there already some, if there's something already in place, or if there were some research done or some data already in place, I would just check and see what are some of the things that are already working, so I don't need to reinvent the wheel. So yeah, I would come up with some designs, the concepts, and then get feedback from the stakeholders, PMs, engineers, including my teammates from my design team. Get their feedback and iterate, and then try to test and see if the design actually makes sense. Yeah, mainly it depends. I mean, and it's complicated to explain because actually it's not a linear. It's very agile. It's never linear, very agile. So from there, I just keep learning and keep iterating, and that's, I think, usually is the main process for me. Is my responsibilities comes from there.
Okay, you touch a really interesting point about UX and UI. So UX stands for user experience, and UI and is usually the UI. Do you think that there is no UI without UX? How does it work? How would you, first of all, describe the two things, and do you think that there might exist one without the other, or they need to be combined?
I think UX design is all about creating and enhancing the experience and that users having while they're interacting with our products. I always use this analogy, that UX is like their architecture. It's about designing a space that is beautiful. It's about balancing aesthetics with usability. And UI designers are the decorators. Like, we look after, the look and feel of the product, the way it's presented, and the way, people are able to interact with. So they're the same, but they're not the same. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, cool. Do you do a lot of user research as well?
Yeah, I do a lot of research. It depends right now, because right now in this company that I'm working with, I have 3 dedicated UX researchers. So I'm not always involved as I wish, but I love this, all this process, the discovery phase, and doing some exploratory research. But unfortunately, I'm not always involved right now. So it depends in which kind of organization you are and they are the structure. So it always depends if they allow you to participate or not.
Okay, cool. Thank you for answering. Another question: what skills should you have to be a product designer?
What skills? Oh gosh, so many. I'm just going to mention soft skills because I think hard skills and tools can be learned, right? So I think it's extremely important to be a problem-solving person, because we need to have a very unique eye and perspective to problem solving. We need to have this ability to make sense all of the noise and make all the novel connections between some stories or maybe some disparate data. So our brief of knowledge always allow us to problems, or these skills in being problem solving for see what is viable and feasible. This is the first one, and then I would name it 3. Is that okay?
Okay, cool. Okay. Go for it.
Okay, let me choose which one. Yeah, then I think be adaptable, because we are always learning new skills, and we are always figuring out ways of to get the job done. So especially that as a product designer, we put a lot of many hats, and so it's important to to continuously have this, to adapt and shift between various modes of working and distinct task and fast comes. And then whereas comes being a fast learning, the third one, I think, is over time is we become fast learners, because we heard a lot of things from the developers, engineers, from our stakeholders, from the business, from everyone. So it's really you need to grasp all this knowledge fairly quickly, so we are able to respond all and to answer and to ask all the questions as they arise. So yeah, I think it'll be those three.
Okay. Yeah. So this leads me to my favorite question. So, which is this one. I think that now it's clear that being a product designer means, among other things, being a storyteller.
Yeah.
So my question is, did you ever find yourself in the situation where you had to create the vision for a product, but in which you didn't believe in, or can you talk about that? How would you do in that case? Because I suppose that
that happens, that right? I think not only for me. Oh gosh, I think being honest, like someday everyone might encounter, being in this position where you have to create or do something, in my case, to create a product that which initially you might not believe, or maybe that happens that even in terms of failing, it happens one way or another. So usually, just let me do some introduction. Like, I don't know who's watching. So usually, the thing that I always, but usually the thing that always let me down every time is time itself, because it depended where I'm working, things can move in too slow. Sometimes having for my side, having to cut features or some functionalities to please the business happens a lot and frustrates me a lot. And even then I don't agree, because we as a product designers, we also you must also fill all the gaps and the missing beats with our imagination, with our ideas. But because business and especially I don't know, but business and developers sometimes time and money are always at odds with us product designers and researchers. So yeah. But I have do I have to give an example? I have one. I'm not sure if it applies.
If you don't want to.
No, I have no problem. I mean, it's not in this company actually. Yeah. There was a time where I was helping my previous team, to create a digital strategy for our product, and I come on board on to the project while it was in flight, and the project process at the time was a bit wonky. I mean, in terms of there's a lot of lack of documentation, prototyping, wireframe, and things like that. And it was quite confused. And when we finally got into to build all the main and very complex piece of that product, the user flows as well were really, really, really bad. So I remember that I was flagging it in advice, and that we could not proceed with that design approach. And some of my colleagues at the time, they told me that I would be, committing career suicide, because the stakeholders, they are big stakeholders. So yeah, what I did, I mean, I wasn't able. It took me a week to decide, but I have to. So I took it to the leadership team and the steering committee, and yeah. But anyway, you know what happened? Because the reality was that I was risking at that time. I thought that I was risking, but I have no choice because I couldn't proceed without, informing my colleagues and my superiors. But at the end, it turned out to be okay because, I did what was right, even that I wasn't, because I wasn't, it wasn't good at the time, but I have to do that. And yeah, everything was right. And it went out that, my superiors, they got the project extended for another 3 months to make it right. So this is one thing that I always liked, because it's kind of now for me, it's like I have now from this story, like a moral, like, always do the right thing, even that you don't agree, you feel like, oh my gosh, I don't like it, or it's not I can see a lot of fails there, but you can learn from the process. So yeah, I don't know if it applies, but it's my story.
Well, at the end, it didn't go so well, so that didn't go so bad. So I
Yeah,
think that,
exactly.
You can definitely learn from this kind of experience.
Yeah.
So talking about a project that you might not believe in, I want to do a game with you. Are you up for it?
Oh gosh, yeah.
Oh gosh.
Let's try that.
So I'm the founder of a startup, and I have a fantastic idea. So I do believe that my idea is fantastic, as every founder would say.
Yeah.
But I don't have the vision. I would like you to give me the vision of my idea. My idea is this one. I want to make an app, which is a dating app, but it's a dating app for pets.
Okay.
And I want to implement 2 features. One, because I need to understand what's the MVP, the minimum viable product. And the first feature is the pet needs to be able to express an interest in another pet, exactly like Tinder. And the second feature is that the pet needs to be able to communicate somehow. So we'll send you a board where you can draw. So if you want, you can share your screen and we can think about this project. So
where are you sending through the chat?
Yes.
Okay.
Auto draw.
Okay, I see. Oh, never tried this one. I'm scared.
Come on.
Okay.
So.
Okay, you have to repeat because I wasn't prepared.
And I know you weren't prepared. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. So I like to be challenged, but I didn't. So first, I need is a pet. I think
it's a dating hub.
Okay.
It's a dating hub for pets. And pets needs to be able to express their I don't know, appreciation. They need to express their favor for another pet, their interest in another pet, exactly like you do for Tinder when you swipe, right and left.
Just to be aware, how long do we have? How
I would say five minutes.
Oh gosh, really? Because my way to solve this is I was about to tell you that I'm going to solve this problem in 4 steps, but if it's like because I'm a problem solver. I'm not a visual designer, but I will try my best. Oh my gosh.
Please help me. I really want this hub to be out there, up and running, and I need you. I need your vision.
Okay.
Would you share your screen?
Oh yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I haven't started yet. No worries. I just need. Where is the
the eraser? Come on. Okay, cool.
Yeah, okay,
Cool.
Okay,
so I suppose that they are pets, so they cannot use.
I apologize for my drawing, everyone, because. Okay, it's going to be an app.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
app.
What you're telling me? Okay. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. This is not fair. So my initial idea is to create is like
A list
we haven't defined a problem statement yet, but we haven't listed any user cases. We don't have a user flow scenarios.
I just want it done yesterday.
Sorry?
I want it done yesterday.
Okay, so just to have an idea regarding user goals, what needs are you as that you are my stakeholders? What needs are you fulfilling, and what do you visual at the current moment? What did you want to achieve with this?
I want my pet to see the picture of another pet and say, yes, I want to date this one.
Okay, so I would say that so he's gonna choose. Your pet is gonna choose. Okay. Yes. So, oh God, this is getting for pets. Okay, so to give you some context, because we only have 3 minutes now. Yeah, I will like draw. This is supposed to be a dog.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, why I'm doing this? This is being recorded. Okay. Okay. How I'm gonna do the eyes? Okay, just pretend there's an eyes and yeah, okay, everything. So I will just play different pictures of dogs here.
Yeah. Okay.
And
cool.
when you present the app, so just pretend they're like another here. And when you present this app to your dog, your pet, in this case, I'm assuming there will be a dog.
Okay.
He's
he needs to help it.
Press on it, and when they do that, it's gonna change the screen with a big photo here with the choose dog or the choose pet with a sound with different buttons here on the different
okay buttons. Cool. Are they big enough for the paw?
Sorry?
They should be big enough to
Yeah, this is the reason. There's only especially that if you use on your phone, I don't know what kind of the device you're using, but I'm assuming that it's just an iPad or is a phone, a mobile. So yeah, in here there's different symbols like. Then you pet, you can with you're gonna press it, and depending on where they press it, it changes the sound and the expression of the dog.
Oh, also the expression of the dog.
Yeah, it kind of expresses. So I don't know, it could be a ho ho ho, or here's like meow meow meow. I don't know. It's something that we need to just cover in. I have to do some research. See, this is why research is so important. I can't do anything without research.
I think we definitely need user research for this app and being able to.
But I think I'm gonna
as many pets as we can.
Yeah, I think I'm doing. People are really, oh gosh, feeling bad for me right now, and I appreciate it that people. It's a very empathic audience here, I'm pretty sure. I can see the faces. But yeah, this is...
Don't worry.
This is my...
I think I ask you, the top. So, but I do believe as a founder that my idea is actually the best. And we're going to have a lot of success, don't worry. So thank you for and make my dream a reality.
That's fine. Okay, maybe I will help you better at somehow other time.
So much cool. So now I want to understand more about what to do to be a product designer. So which kind of studies do you have to do, or with what kind of experience you have to have in order to to go an interview as a product designer?
Okay. I would say
Any
there's no right answer. Is getting into product design or UX, any kind of things like this. It can start from different points, especially depending what is your background and your previous experience. Getting into this, there's no one path for everyone. I do know there are a lot of, there are in the market several educational programs. I can share with all of you some of the options that are around. I think there's in the document, I think there. I don't know if I put, but yeah, if it's not there on the resource list, I can include it. But yeah, I can share with that, and I that can help. I don't know, but I mean, even that doing some educational programs, just let me state right now, like, there's not enough, because you need to put a lot of effort on your side. I personally, I transitioned from web design and digital market, which helped me a lot. I've already told you that. But also, I did a big, number of meetups and experience and courses, and that it helped me helped me to enrich my picture around the product design role. What else? I think one thing that's also very important, which I had during my transition into the UX field, and that I was lucky enough, I was lucky enough to have already to have a career coach, and if you have a mentor that could help you along the way, helps a lot. But but I think there's a plenty of space to put your aspirations and ambitions to test. Normally the people in design, they are extremely communicative, very talkative. So if you go to meetups, experiences, in potentially one of the education programs, I think they're ideal to help to get you into it. And also, if you could, have some work experience alongside this, I think volunteering, I don't know, is one of those things, the best ways that you can do once you get the basics. So in my case, it helped me a lot doing the, especially helping me to get out there and get a lot of experience and confidence, similar or more when compared to my time at boot camps when I was working on my volunteers projects and hackathons. So if you're someone interested, go there and look around for those two, because I mean, there's whatever path, you choose, you're sure to end it up with is a fulfilling and rewarding career, just like me. And I'm not saying to say I'm really happy that I chose this path, but it takes time. Even if I don't know that any kind of career is a similar way, but I think especially for UX, I think it's really important to be able to, to have this feeling of learning and learn and learn and learn and never stopping learning.
So you mentioned that, so basically you can do boot camps, hackathons, it's quite useful. And and also you said having a mentor. You had obviously career coach, but you also talked about mentors. One of the questions that we had from people was how to find a mentor.
Everywhere, like, especially, I mean, I'll always say that if you already work in the field, always have a mentor in your company, but always try to find a mentor outside of work. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if you're doing UX or, or any kind of, in this case, any kind of, especially if you are in the first 5 years, because it always also helps, even for people that are outside from your work, they kind of help you to, you can exchange your experience, and they can kind of give you some advice specific advice in how to deal with certain things that some challenge that you're facing in your work, or even if you're learning, in the case that you're learning. I think the career coach is really important, especially that if you build in your portfolio, things like that. But I would say that with what it helps most is the meetups and meeting people. Now, I know that's complicated during this situation, but yeah, meeting people and exchange a lot of experience and talk. And there's, for UX and especially UX and product design, things like that, there's plenty of informations on the web. I create I think I create a list with the resource, right? So there I don't know if you're gonna share. I don't know if I'm
Yeah. So basically, after this this meetup, we will send a document that Michelle created with all the links for websites and portfolios and all stuff that you can you can see to enter into this field. So yeah, thank you for filling it.
Actually, I use myself. That all of those links did help me a lot. So it's kind of my secret recipe. Is all there.
Okay, cool.
And I'm giving it to you all. I'm sharing. But yeah.
Thank you. This is something that we will share after this meetup. I think that we have some questions from people who have joined. So someone asked, your job title changed from UX designer to product designer. Is that interchangeable?
This is quite different. I started as a UX designer. But it's the same. It is not the same, I would say, because as a product designer, I'm more into. I'm kind of, how can I rephrase this? But I mean, I'm more than kind of a bridge. I don't know how to say that, but I'm kind of a bridge of. I talk with developers, with business side PMs, so. I need to work across all of them to create a product. And UX is more than UX research. Is more than doing the research. UX designer is more into the research, and the product designer is more about research and feasibility in business sides. So you need to think about across all those business users and developers or engineers in this case.
Okay, yeah, it makes sense. I think that you wore both the hats.
Even for me, it's complicated to explain, because
it's also a new field. Let's say it's probably maybe 20 years of experience. It's not one of those career that people have been doing for years and years. So
yeah. Because actually, I would say, I'm not sure, so correct me if I'm wrong, if someone is here, but I would say that, because product is almost the same thing, but the only difference is like the product is more quite involved in almost all of the steps of the product creation. So, all the things that between development, design, and business and user. So I think the only difference is this.
Okay, and also we have another question. Does this role decide what functionality gets built? I suppose the role as UX design and product design, that they decide what functionality you will build.
I wish. Sorry.
I think yeah, I think that the question might be whether the UX designer is then the one that when you do user research, does user research influence the functionality that you will then build, or it's more I have, like what I said before, I have this idea, I want these two functionality.
Yeah, no,
For me,
I understand.
How they interact together.
Yeah, first let's start with the UX. So there's two. I answered this on two blocks, different blocks. Regarding UX research, absolutely. I mean, UX design is product design. I mean, the UX design, is the process, of designing products, even that if they are digital or physical, but design all the products that they are useful, easy to use, and delight to interact with. So yeah, it's always about enhancing the experience that people have while interacting and making sure they find value in what we're providing. And we can't do that without talking with customers. We can't do that without doing the research. So I would say that the first thing that most important top thing is research. And then when it comes talk with I don't decide myself. I kind of I create my assumptions, my hypothesis, and I always check if they're if they are aligned with the research, if they're feasible for development, if the business are happy with. So it's not my decision.
Well, I think so. It makes a lot of sense. Sometimes founders come to you and they have an idea, but they really don't know what they want from that idea. So I think this is also your role to make them understand. Obviously, with the user research and other stuff. Yeah. So I have another question. Someone asked, if you had to start from scratch today and prepare for an interview, how would you prepare? I mean, do you need a portfolio? How to build one? How would you build your portfolio? Do you have a portfolio?
Yeah, I do. I mean, they're kind of, I need to update it, but usually I'll always try every year. Unfortunately, doing time constraints, I can't do it on, quarter basis, but once a year, try to update it. Yeah, I think it's fundamentally is really important, because you know what, something that happens a lot when people are starting to work for a job in this, especially with UX and product design. Some people might think that having just a CV is enough, but it's not, because usually when we are recruiting, we have tons and tons of CVs, and we don't have time to look into each one of them. So the first thing that we do and check is the portfolio.
Okay.
So I would say first thing is really important to have one for this. But yeah, for this job, if you're looking for something into UX, second is important because we can see from there, we can see, their process, their mental work, how they usually, we can have some knowledge and try to understand if the way they think, the way they work, it fits with our organization. So it's really important. And what else to ask? Sorry.
And how do you build one?
Okay, to build one, it depends. If you're just starting, I would say that you definitely have to try to participate in, I don't know, hackathons and things like that, or meet some people. There's a plenty of communities outside there where people are looking for other people to to make a group or to do in there. Someone you can be a research, another one can perform as a UI designer. So build a product. I think no, it's not true one, but kind of, and speak with people. So just simulate the same thing that you oh gosh, sorry. something drop here. Just simulating something that you did, so you can do the same process that usually you do on the real life. Create a case that helps a lot, create a solid case, and definitely do that if you have a chance, because it helps a lot. And having those in your portfolio builds your character. And especially one thing that people usually don't do that on the portfolio, something that's really important apart to see their process is really important, because few people do that, is to tell things about you that you're applying for the job. So the first thing when I'm seeing the portfolio, I go to the page about yourself, about me. I don't know which one, because it's not about, it's important to have the skills, the technical and the soft and hard skills, but also I want to get along with the person that I will work with, right? So I always go there to see if maybe there's some bias, but I always try to go there and see if the person fits into our team and things like that. I would say that there's so many things that we'll find, all the tips and things like that on the document that we'll share after the chat. But mainly my tips will be these ones.
Okay. Oh, thank you. We have other two questions, and then could you describe how you work with product managers and engineers? One product manager, two engineers.
Yeah, okay. So my case, I work a lot of them. I work a lot, like in terms of everything I do. I need to check with them. Not only with them, but especially with them. So just let me think. How is my process? But yeah, no, I would say that it's extremely important to be in an open mind and be very collaborative, because sometimes, especially, I know that there's a lot of developers here. Sorry, but from all as a designers, from our point of view, sometimes we have a view that we always want to innovate, right? So you're always doing some people be my crazy ideas, but and the developers, engineers always sometimes is pushing back. Even that if you haven't seen my my prototype, is like the first reaction is always, oh, this can be done for this sprint. That's happened a lot. I understand your point of view as a developer, because we need to ship faster, especially if you're working in a fast-paced environment as a startup. But this is one thing that it doesn't concern me, but it's always I can see every company that I'm working is always the same. There's a pattern there. But it depends in all the stage, of the process we are, because generally I would say with the engineers and the PMs, I need to have this very good communication, I think, because it's the foundation of any successful collaboration. It doesn't matter, with team you are working with. But the good thing, is that at the end, we are all working towards a common goals. I can say now that in my current company that I'm happy, Anna. I'm super happy.
Okay.
Especially, do you know why? Because I hear the case, we have a lot of syncs and rituals with the engineers and the product managers. Once a week, I can name it too. Once a week, every week, we have a design engineer sync session. So, usually I put up whatever I'm working on. It could be sketches or wireframes or even ideas. So I can show it, to my team members or the engineers and the product managers that, and it's great, because it's very, very easy way to prompt any discussion and highlight technical issues early on. And, and we can have this chat and, and make the team aware of my progress. Of maybe they might say, okay, stop it here. And then I do. I always do. And I try to build new things, try to see new solutions. I try to, find for new solutions. Yeah. So this ritual is great. Another one that you also have is the front end guild, where all the engineers from different teams, they get even though I'm not the engineers, I participated. So they get together and they share new ideas, they chat about work issues, and try to solve any problems they might have. So we exchange the experience. It's great because even that sometimes I don't get it everything that they're saying, but it's always good because it's a place where you can catch up and discuss all things. And in my case, I'm always worried about discussing usability in these sessions. And
that's great. So I think I agree with you. All the ceremonies are really good, not only because you get to know people, but also because you're able to share your point of view with different people as well. So there is another question, which is, what is the most useful advice you've received?
Oh, the most advice. I have so many, but I would say
just one, the one that's
the one
difference.
I think learning, never stop. Yeah, I think never stop learning, probably. Things that because I've heard so many things around my career, but two things I would say, okay, I have to say two things. Always communicate with this case that we are all developers, engineers here. Always communicate with the engineers, just because they can guess what you're thinking, and just because I can't think, it doesn't mean it can be built in time with the timeline we have. And always trying to mention concerns in meetings. I swear it helps a lot to prevent a lot of problems in the future. So this is two things that people are always telling me that I use on my dailies. So
we keep receiving a question here. So I will there is someone who is asking, what's the evolution of a product designer? Where do you go from here? I do believe that it's a more career progression. What's the career path, if I understood properly? So from product design, what's the natural evolution of your role?
Oh, my connection.
I think we lost you for a couple of seconds, but you're back. Can you hear us?
Oh gosh, I'm using my personal. Can you listen me?
Yes, we can. Yes.
Okay, so I'm using. This is so embarrassing. My connection, my internet never works. I'm using my personal hotspot. Oh gosh. Sorry, I lost you. What did you say?
So there was someone who was asking what's the evolution of product designer. I think that someone was asking what's the career path for a product designer. I mean, after product designer, what's the natural evolution?
It depends if you want to be more generalist, UX or product designer, or if you want, or if you want to specialize into one thing. So it depends what do you wish for your career. I would say for my case, I don't want yet. I don't want to specialize on anything in particular yet, because I feel that I still have to learn a lot. I still have to, especially because when usually on the path is you become a UX designer, then depending on your seniority level, and then when you go in the way more in the management side. So there's no many levels actually. But I would say, yeah, generalist. I'm not saying something. Okay, I'm here. Am I here or I'm down again? Okay.
No, we can hear you.
I would say, yeah, I would say be specialized in interaction or architecture, or, you know, there's plenty of options. It all depends, yeah, in what kind of things are you up to.
Now, someone posed this question, which is quite particular, but I'm interested in knowing the answer. Do you know any app that actually succeed for the great product design, or any app that didn't succeed because it had a bad product design?
Oh, plenty.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you tell us one?
Yeah, when I think that I hate it most, I don't know if they have changed already. Have you used the Starbucks app?
What, sorry? The
app, Starbucks.
No. Starbucks app. Oh, okay. Is it terrible?
Oh, it's awful. Like the worst. I mean, this is by far the worst app I've ever used it ever. And I'm not even joking, because every step, you know, of the customer journey, when you have to order something, is really confusing and painful. You know, from finding the store to upload, you have to put money into your Starbucks own card, which is quite confused because it's fixing amounts and kind of bill you into spending more with them. So it's quite confused. So I hope they have changed already, but since until 4 months ago was still the same. They only, it's the worst.
Actually, I've never seen, but now I will try definitely.
Another one I don't have here my mouse, but have you seen the house from Apple? They kind of it's not here, it's in my other desk. Have you seen to recharge? It's here.
Yeah. Okay.
So you can if you need to recharge.
Oh yeah, that's terrible.
Best companies, Apple. Talking about Apple, guys. Like if you have to recharge, to charge your mouse, you can use it because
I think probably this is done on purpose.
I don't know. You can use it because you have to. The interest. Like, I mean, it's horrible design. They definitely didn't research. They didn't ask from the users what did they like to, Oh gosh, and no usability tests at all.
We will complain with Apple after that.
There's I'm just gonna name it the bad ones because there's so many. I don't know how to.
Okay. There is the very, very last question because we are running out of time. Is there an example of something an engineer couldn't build within the sprint session? Plenty. I'll answer plenty of things that we can finish in a sprint.
It's a horrible, I never have. Oh, seriously, never have. I mean, in terms of, this has never happened to me. Oh gosh. During a sprint. So could you rephrase it again?
Is there an example of something an engineer couldn't build within the sprint session?
The sprint. Okay. Oh, that happens. Okay, I thought I heard that they say that it was my design was horrible. Okay, I misunderstood. Okay. That happens a lot, but not because of their fault. It's because always, especially because in the case where you are to say that I'm working that designer engineer.
I think we lost you for a bit.
No.
Can you repeat? Can you hear us actually? I think we lost Michelle. So I just take advantage of this.
How about now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm back to the Wi-Fi. Sorry about that. My bad.
No problem.
No, I was saying that happens a lot, especially because we are interacting with different teams. So when I do my designs, just to try to be briefly when I'm doing my designs, I always need the design approval from the stakeholders, from the people who are involved. I needed this design approval before moving on to the engineer and to development team. So, but that happens a lot. But even then, when I got this design approval, some stakeholder or someone might change their mind, and I need even when they are development, I need to fix, and I need to do some iterations while they building, and that's kind of it doesn't help at all because so that happens a lot, but we're just trying to push to the next sprint or
cool. Okay, I think we reached the end of this interview. So Michelle, thank you for joining us today. And just a reminder that I will send a document with all the links that that Michelle wants to share with you, and apparently there is all the knowledge possible there. And we will see you the next time.